Okay boys, today I'm going to teach you a lot about systems. The top 3 systems that your e-commerce business needs to scale to 7 figures and beyond. To start, I've got a lovely diagram made for you. It shows your life. This is your life without systems. Without systems, you've got your business, this man right here, holding you in a leash and whipping you. You do what the business says. You are not in control. Whenever the business says you work, you have to work or your business goes bankrupt. On the other hand, when you do have systems, the roles reverse. You now have your business on a leash. You tell him to make the money for you. You are now in control. Systems give you control. Before we begin, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Nart. I'm a co-founder of FunPunch, and I'm going to do a quick rev check because numbers speak louder than words. So if we hop into our Shopify dashboard, we can see that today we're on a comfortable $82,000. If we check yesterday, 106K. You know the saying, 100K day or gay. I am not gay. Let's continue. So first of all, what is a system? I'm going to keep it very simple for you guys. A system is a repeatable process that produces predictable results. Now, most you ecom guys have everything in your head. You do everything from here, your Facebook ads, your influencer outreach, your product outreach, your market research, everything is done from the top of your head. There is nothing that's documented or systemized where you can actually go and check the results somewhere on a dashboard. Your current way of working, where you do everything off the dome and off the top, it's not good. A true system lives outside your brain. It's documented, it's measurable, and most of the time it's delegated, which means that someone's running the system for you. Now, at the end of this video, I will be going into the actual details on how to build the system, but for now, I want to explain to you why it's so important just once more so you understand. So, this is what your current day looks like. You open up your laptop, you're making some meta ads, you're either scripting, doing some market research, providing a brief to the editor, you're doing some product development or product research where you're talking to suppliers back and forth, you're building landing pages, pre-landers, you're managing your cash flow, you've got Slack to answer to, future planning, market research, Google ads, legals, blah, 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 blah. It just goes on and on and on. If I want to keep it simple, your day is just fucked. I'm showing you this so that you can zoom out and take a sort of bird's eye view on what you're actually doing. And when you see this, you'll realize you cannot scale your business like this. You cannot continue like this unless you want to be a slave. You really need to add some time in your week, into your calendar, where you're building these systems. And I know I keep saying systems, but as you keep watching this video, you'll understand further and further what I mean. Me personally, at FunPunch, we closed the whole business down for 3 months. We stopped all the operations. Everything was cancelled and stopped. We spent these 3 months focused on building these systems. And when I look back on it, it was the best move that we've ever made. There is no better decision that we could have made at that current moment in time. So let's not waste time and get into the first system that you need. This is the creative machine. It's the blood flow to your business. It's the machine where you give ads to Zuck and Zuck returns you cash. It's the system that grants you a constant flow of ads. You need this. If you do not have 10 high quality, nice ads pushed every week onto Meta, you're not scaling. I don't care what you say, you're not getting to 7 figures. So why is this creative machine important? Honestly, it's very simple. It's your #1 revenue driver. So it's the first thing that needs to be systemized. I'm also 99% certain that if I look into your day-to-day, you're spending most of your time doing this. This is the most time-consuming as well. So how does the creative machine actually work? Now, again, I want you to sit back and think. Imagine your life if you had 10 fresh creatives given to you every single week without any input from yourself. How much easier would your life be? How much faster would your business grow? So let's get into the details of how we actually build this. How does the creative machine work? So this is a bird's eye view of what you do when you create ads, okay? First, we do market research, and then we form the idea, the concept of the ad. Then we do some script writing. Then we make a brief for the editor. Then the editor edits. He also sources content. Sorry, that should be here. These two should be switched around. But anyways, after that, the media buyer has to launch the ads. Then he has to provide learnings. It's a long process. If you do it properly, it's quite long. Now, you probably do this process yourself, but you're doing it by yourself and it's not systemized. You're doing it off the top of your head, which is what we used to do. It's normal, it's completely normal. But to get to that next level, you need it to be systemized. And here's how you do it. So first of all, this is the process, right? We can agree that this is the process of making ads. You need to create an SOP for each part of the process. You need an SOP on market research. And an SOP is just a guide. It's just a step-by-step guide. So you need a step-by-step guide on how does FunPunch do market research? How does FunPunch create ideas, the ideation phase? How does FunPunch actually do the script writing? How do we brief our editors? How do we edit, etc. Each part needs a very, very detailed guide, a playbook, a SOP, whatever you want to call it, that's what you need. And now that you have these guides and you have these playbooks, you have to assign it to someone so someone can read them and execute them. In most cases, this is how the structure would go. You would hire a creative strategist who's in charge of this section. You would hire an editor who'd be in charge of this. And then you'd hire a media buyer who's in charge of the ad launching and the learnings. And this is just a repetitive loop. Every single week, you should be able to produce 10 ads at least with this system. Now listen, if your step-by-step guides, your SOPs, are written very well and they're very detailed, you don't need to spend so much money on these hires. You don't need these expensive A players. This system can be running for you at a cheap price. So when do you need this creative machine? Now. Now is the one that's generating you all the cash. It's taking up the most time. It's a no-brainer. You need this the first thing you do. So at FunPunch, we've spent more than $3 million in ad spend, probably even more. This year we're spending ridiculous amounts. And right now we're producing 50 creatives a week. It's genuinely insane. I did not predict we would get to this level ourselves, but it's the only reason that we're going to cross the 8-figure mark this year. And I want to thank our media buyer. Our media buyer is having a very tough time launching 50 creatives a week. On to the next system, the A/B testing database. This one's not as fancy. It's not as nice, but it is needed. It's your brand's data brain. It's a live database that's tracking every test you do, every result, and every pattern. It's pretty much where you store all the valuable information of your business. And why does it matter? Well, it's important for a number of reasons. First of all, you forget shit. You're not going to remember everything. You need to write that down. Secondly, your team needs to see these tests. They need to see what's working and what's not working as well. This would improve performance in other areas of the brand that you wouldn't even expect. And also now we have AI, and what does AI need? It needs data. You need to feed AI data. If AI has data of every single A/B test that you've done, it's gonna be a genius. It's gonna know exactly the next steps and what to do. And finally, if you're hiring someone new, like this retard over here, he has to have knowledge of the business as well, or else you're gonna sit there and teach him and spend hours and hours and hours repeating nonsense again and again and again. So what goes inside the A/B testing database is pretty much any A/B test that you do, but this is how we split it. So we have offers. We are always testing offers, and that's gonna be in there. Headlines, you want to change the names of your products, the names of your pre-landers, etc. Upsells. Upsells is a very big one. This is a big revenue driver. You need to A/B test this. Prices, of course, you need to A/B test the prices of your product. Copy, angles, visuals, etc. Pretty much anything that you test should go in here and it should be logged. The person responsible for this system, for us, it's the head of CRO, which means the head of conversion rate. Whoever's in charge of the website should be responsible for running this system. And when you start tracking these moves, you're going to see some amazing results over time. Just watch your conversion rate and AOV grow. Just trust me. At FunPunch, our A/B testing database is huge. Like, I honestly even struggle right now in thinking what more do we need to A/B test. But we're still going. You can never ever stop. You still have to keep going. But we've got every single piece of information that you need to know about the brand in there. And now finally, the third system, the company scorecard. This is my favorite system. It's the system that allows you to be chilling on the beach with a BBL Bedina with no stress. And let me explain. So the company scorecard, it's a dashboard of every single top metric in the business. Each metric is assigned to the relevant team members, and they are assigned with targets. In the scorecard, it's updated weekly. So this huge list of metrics is updated weekly, and it's the top metrics of your business. Now this is super important because It gives you clarity. You can see what's working and what's not working in the business at all times. So I can come in right now into FunPunch and I can see email marketing revenue is looking quite low, which means that I need to focus on this part of the business. So like I showed you in the first section here, you can see how much stuff you need to track. There's so much stuff. You can't do this off the top of your head. You need a company scorecard where the whole company is scored in one spot. It helps you decide where you need to focus on. It helps you know what's going well already. It helps create control, direction, and it just makes you calm. So let's go into detail. What does it actually track? We have 30 metrics that we track at FunPunch, and I'm going to give you just some examples. Creative launched. We need a certain number of creatives every week. Email revenue as percentage of sales. We want ours to be above 12%. AOV and conversion rate. Repeat purchase rate. Review score. What's the product rating of our product this week? Are people saying it's good or bad? Refund rate, of course, a very important one. If refund rates are increasing, we know something has to change. Support time. How fast do we respond to inquiries? Ad spend per platform, etc. It keeps going on and on. Now listen, don't overcomplicate it like to a level where it's too much, because too much also isn't good. That's going to be a bit too complicated. But to the point where you can actually tell if your business is performing well or not. That's all you need to know. Is my business doing well? If not, where do I have to focus on? So how does it actually change the business? Well, one glance is total visibility. I just have to look at this sheet one time and I know what's happening. So at FunPunch, this is our weekly ritual. We do this every single week and we haven't missed it once since starting, and it's made life so much better. The feeling of looking at a positive scorecard, a great scorecard, is the best feeling on earth. It cannot be replaced. Once I finish those calls and I see that all the metrics are hit, life's good. I can go to the beach, chill with a Bedina, no problem. So those are the 3 systems which I would say are probably the most important systems. There are a lot more that you need in your business. You should always think with the systems brain, but if you can get those 3 settled in, you're already off to a good start. So I'm going to show to you what our life was before and after systems. Before systems, if I had to explain and describe it in one word, it would be chaos. We were always arguing about stuff which didn't even matter. We were always uncertain. We always didn't know what the next step was. We didn't even have goals in place. Hiring was impossible. We didn't have no SOPs or guides. There was no databases, there was no visibility. Even when our business performance was good, I was uneasy. I was still uncertain because I didn't know if it was good or not. There was no metric to track. And I would have no idea how the rest of the business is doing. The only way I could know if our stock levels were fine was if I asked him, instead of actually seeing it on the scorecards. When I look back onto the time when FunPunch had no systems, it was the most stressful part of our life. I don't even like thinking about it because it was actually difficult for the brain. To run a business with no systems is psychotic. I think you're a psycho. But at the same time, you have to go through that stage, because if you can survive through the no systems part, then you're unstoppable. You have an iron mind. So what changed after installing over 15 systems? So right now in FunPunch, we have over 15 systems. Similar to what I described to you right now, we have those 3 and another 12. And the difference is night and day. No systems and systems is night and day. Life is now easy. The whole team is aligned and we're always happy. Our calls go amazing pretty much every time. And the most important thing is that the business is growing like never before. We're hitting record numbers after record numbers. So the final lesson I would give is that you need systems. You need systems and you need it now. And now for the boring part. How do I create these systems? This is the most boring thing in the world, but you have to do it. You have to. So I would say there are 3 things that you need when you create a system. So you need a database, somewhere where you can store information. You need SOPs, standard operating procedures. So this is your playbooks or your guides. And you also need employees. If you have these 3, you now have a machine. This is a machine. So let me go into a bit more detail. So a database is where your system lives. It's where you can track every single move that is made. You can use a software like Airtable or Notion. We use Notion. And to create your databases, you really need to sit back and map out your processes. So I'll give you an example right now. Me recording this video on CEO Camp YouTube. This is a system. It's on a database. The 3 systems every 6-figure ecom brand is missing. That's the name. Here's the channel. Here's the YouTube type. Here's the creative code, the strategist, etc., etc. Now this is a system. It's a live database because I can check when is it in strategy. And when it finishes strategy, it can now go into recording content time. And remember, in this strategy phase, there is a playbook on how do we actually execute the strategy of this video. What AIs do we have to use to make the copywriting? Then it moves on to content. And there's a playbook for content. How do we set up the camera? What mic do we use? Etc. We need a playbook for every single step. So number 2 is you need SOPs. That's exactly what I just described. For every single step here, you need a detailed guide. The guides should be so detailed and they should be written out so well and so simple that even a fucking retard can understand them. We always like to add Loom videos for each of our SOPs because there's no better way to describe than talking to someone face to face. And finally, you need the right employees. Now, of course, there's a certain way to hire. There's a whole system for hiring that we have actually. You need a hiring system. But honestly, this is quite easy when the above two are done well. Now, if you've made it this far, I want to give you lot a shortcut route. The shortcut route is for the lazy fuckers, but also for the smart people. The shortcut route is, drumroll, CEO Camp. It's a one-to-one mentorship with us, the Fun Punch founders. Developing and implementing systems is honestly quite difficult. Like, it takes a lot of time and you need to know if you're on the right path, if what you're doing is actually right. We've had countless debates and countless problems over building systems. We've been through it all, which is why we've created the CEO Camp, so we can personally guide you with everything that you need to take your brand to the next level. If you're interested, just check the link below. I hope that you guys have enjoyed watching this video and that you've learned a lot from it. I'm gonna log off now. I hope you have fun building your systems.